Hey guys, welcome back to Soul Speak Visions. Brian here. It's been a while. I I haven't made a video in what seems like a few months. I didn't really plan to take a hiatus for that long. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff lately, and a lot of stuff has happened. Some good, some bad. But it's all life, and it's what is real at this moment. So, but yeah, I wanted to make a video today. This is like my third time recording it, so we'll see how this goes. I wanted to make a video sort of about my current situation dealing with anxiety, and sort of to give you guys like an update on what's been going on. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety problems lately. And what's different about this, recent anxiety spell or, issue is like the amount of like fatigue and tiredness I've been having, and, the amount of just, unbearable, periods of just, total just dysfunction, and mentally and physically at times. And it starts to take a toll on you. I'm not here to harp on things or complain or say woe is me or whatever. Things have been a lot worse before. I have a lot to be thankful for. I have so much to be thankful for, but I can't, I have been dealing with this persistent sort of, anxiety that's manifesting in some different ways. I recently started a new job, and, I've had a lot of anxiety centered around this big life change. But even, before that, prior, I've been dealing with, sort of the same thing. A constant feeling of fatigue, like feeling sort of weak, kind of spacey, at times even like dizzy, just feeling out of it. And, I went for a physical not too long ago, and I pretty much checked out as okay, other than a minor vitamin deficiency, which I'm taking care of. And it's come to my attention that, it's a very high likelihood that, the physical symptoms I've been experiencing are, a product, or, are correlated with, my tendency for anxiety. And it's not easy, and I've been dealing with it. And part of the reason I wanted to make this video is simply to sort of allow myself a platform to just sort of speak, and I hope I don't sound too like selfish or like engrossed in my own issues, because but I guess this is what's real, at the moment, and I mean, there's something to be learned even through the most painful times in our lives. Perhaps there's more to be gained from experiencing, periods of discomfort and pain. Perhaps we realize our strength as an individual, as a spiritual being, as a mental being, as an emotional being, perhaps. But I can chalk it up to all the inspirational words and positivity I want, but when you face anxiety head on, it's not so easy to deal with. It's not always possible to just say the right words and instantly feel better or feel functional. For me, a lot of times I simply just have to breathe, and I breathe sort of in a pattern. Sometimes I count, sometimes I I try to replace, the bad scenario with, a possibility of a good scenario. Sometimes it's just altering the words and, utilizing the tools of language to my benefit by, replacing, what seems to be, anxious feelings with, well, like my buddy once told me, like, maybe I'm just, antsy or excited, or, there's, energy is energy, and, if we can attach, a different connotation, or, allow positive energy to absorb all of the negative energy, then maybe we're, going in the right direction with management of our anxiety. Who knows? But lately, I have felt out of it. I've felt really spacey. I've felt almost sort of like a feeling of derealization, something that I've experienced plenty of times before, where you basically feel like you're in a dream state, or you're in some sort of alternate, or like that you're here, but you're not all here, or, it just messes with you, I mean, as human beings, as sentient human beings who feel and think and perceive, and that forgot what I was gonna say. That can it can destroy your mind to have to deal with these things such as anxiety, and not being able to always manage and always feel totally in sync with yourself, and to be able to participate. What I was going on, the derealization piece, in that state, you're not all together, and you feel like you're in a dream. And that's a lot of what I've felt lately. And it may sound fun, but it's really not, I mean, a few years ago, all I wanted to do was get high and get out of my mind, but now, all I want to do is feel in control. But, that's the thing, you're never really in control. I mean, you can extend, your, the human will as far as it can go, and, you can dress up your reality any way you want it, and I definitely recommend positive thinking. I'm not trying to be skeptical on that account. I simply mean that unforeseen forces such as impending stress and anxiety, and just the the darkness of life are very real possibilities, because life is just sort of an empty slate of mass potential, and through this potential, it lies the polarities of lightness and dark, and happy and sad, and good and bad, and this energy is defined by its particles, by its objective nature, and as humans, when we define a situation, we don't always see the situation for what it is. We tend to attach our own notions and our own belief systems, and if you have anxiety, it's really easy to give in to your own self-criticism. And my thing is, if you're talking to yourself, you might as well try to be positive and try to say the right things, and hopefully make a good difference. It's not always easier. Sometimes it's easier said than done. And I'm not in the best place right now, but I feel like I'm able to deal with it based on what I've experienced in the past. And I mean, I know things will get better. I mean, the purpose of this video is sort of just to speak on it a little bit, and I can already tell it's made me feel a little better. Anxiety is not fun, but there is hope, and nothing lasts forever. And I definitely see a good future for myself, and I think that this anxiety will transform into strength over time, and that I will learn, and I will hopefully grow and progress. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it was kind of a confusing video with no real directory or objective. I kind of just wanted to speak a little bit about what's been going on. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I can make some new videos soon. I really want to, Appreciate it, guys. Peace.